Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Facebook Live card class. My name is Rachel Trout and I am excited to share this beautiful suite with you today. So I have my catalog open. The suite that we're going to be looking at today is the Perennial Lavender Suite, and if you are like me and love purple, this suite caught my eye right away. I think the paper is gorgeous. And who doesn't love sparkly purple gems? Comment and let me know if that is you too. This suite also has two bundles and then these butterfly embellishments. And I don't actually have those, so I can't show those to you today, but everything else on this page we're going to be using. So since we are in the last chance part of our catalogs, I do want to point out that this bundle is retiring. So we'll be using it today. It's the Perennial Postage bundle, and it includes a sentiment stamp set and then these awesome postage stamp dies. And I'm sad that they're retiring this because I think it is a great staple set to have in your craft room. This bundle is carrying over, so that is awesome, but it will not be bundled together anymore at a discounted price. So you get 10% off when you buy the bundle, the stamps and dies together. So make sure if you want that one, you do it by April 30th so you can get that extra little discount. And then I just wanted to show you this page too. The samples that the concept artists have created are absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite things about, our catalogs is looking at all of the samples and getting ideas and inspiration from them. So super pretty. You can find this suite on page 22 and 23 of our January to April mini catalog, or you can shop in my online store. Just search Perennial Lavender and you will be able to see photos of everything. So I thought I would show you the bundles close up, and then I have 3 cards to make today. And if you would like a card kit for today's class, all you have to do is place an order with me now through Tuesday. And if you spend more than $40, you'll get one of each card. And if you spend more than $50, you'll get double the card, so 2 of each. Plus, I am running a birthday ordering special this week. It is actually my birthday today, and I am excited to spend some of it stamping with you. But the special is a birthday-themed surprise gift for every $50 you spend. I have handmade birthday cards, I have birthday stamp sets, I have birthday designer series paper, so it'll just be a fun surprise. And I know some of you have been paying attention. I'm getting really close to my $100,000 sales milestone. I am actually less than $400 away. So it would be awesome to hit it today. I'm not sure what the chances of that are, but this week is my goal. So if you place an order, you're going to get a lot of fun stuff along with it, and you'll help me reach that goal. So thank you to those of you who have already placed orders and shopped with me. And, they always want us to put disclaimers that this is not typical to achieve these results, but really I think anybody can achieve the sales milestones. It just takes a while. I've been a demonstrator for 12 and a half years, so it just took some time. Okay, on to our bundles for today. We have the Perennial Postage bundle, so this is the one that's retiring, and you've gotten a good chance to look at it. I love all the different sizes of the postage stamp dies. Those are great for layering pieces on your cards, and sentiments that can be used for lots of different things too. All right, I'm going to move that one out of the way and show you the second bundle. This is the Painted Lavender bundle. So with this one, you just have the floral images. You have a couple of dies that cut out detailed pieces, and then these open ones cut out the stamped images. And we'll be using some of those today. So I am using both bundles on a few of my cards. They work together really, really well. So here's our first card today. I loved pulling out the different purples to use on the cards. And if you order and receive the card kit, this is what it's going to look like. You will get one of these for each card. So everything is separated out into the envelope. You get all of the die cut pieces, the designer series paper. Everything is cut and ready for you. And then you can either use the bundles that I'm using today, or substitute something you already own, or you can go ahead and add it to your order. Okay, I have a fresh Freesia card base. So this is one of our lighter purples. And then I have a piece of fresh Freesia that's 5 1/4 by 4. And this one I have embossed, I believe this is the Layered Florals 3D embossing folder. And this one is carrying over and it's so, so pretty. I love the dimension on this because it's one of our 3D folders. And it's just so pretty. So this is going to be like our background piece. So I'll lay that down on here. And then, so the color in this designer series paper is actually shaded spruce. But it takes on tones of the Pretty Peacock. I think they have some of the same tones. And it's just light shading. So the Pretty Peacock goes really well with it, and I've used that instead on a few of my cards today. But I wanted to point out that the coordinating color actually is shaded spruce. We're just using Pretty Peacock today. So my designer series paper is 3 by 4. I've probably told you this before, but this is a great size to cut your designer series paper because you can get 12 pieces out of one sheet and you will have no waste. And there are so many great card layouts with 3 by 4 pieces of paper, of designer series paper. This is just one that I like with the embossed piece behind. You've probably also seen me do cards like this, where you put one piece of the 3 by 4 like this on the card, and then the other piece like this, and now it can go this way, or it can go this way. Those are some of my favorite layouts to do with 3 by 4 pieces. And like I said, you don't waste any of the paper that way, and you get a lot out of one sheet. So I love that size for my designer series paper. Okay, before I attach this to the card, I'm going to wrap my ribbon around. This is our Pretty Peacock and gold ribbon. This is part of another suite in the catalog, and it is carrying over. And it is actually really... it's not very thick ribbon, so it's really easy to tie. Ties nicely into bows, and it's not going to bulk up your card too much. So this time we're tying the bow on the right. If you wanted to, you could tie it on the left. Totally up to you which side you want to put it on. If you want a knot instead, you could do that too. Or you could use a different ribbon if you want. Any white ribbon would look nice. We had a gorgeous grape ribbon a few years ago that would look really nice with this paper too, if you have some of that left in your craft room. Or if you want, you can add this ribbon onto your border. We're using it on 2 of our cards today. And then the other card, we're just going to be using some twine. Okay, this piece I'm going to put on with some dimensionals. Like that. Now you notice I do have a host code over here. When I'm done, I will put a shopping link in the description of the video, and it'll already have the host code attached, so that'll make it a little bit easier for you. And I will also put a list of suggested products to add to your order that I'm using on the cards today, so you don't have to go searching for those or remember. Okay, this piece is basic white, and I've cut it with the Perennial Postage dies. And we are going to stamp one of the sentiments from the Perennial Postage stamp set. And we're using Pretty Peacock ink. Now you could use any sentiment here. This card is really easy to duplicate without having the stamp set, because you just pick a sentiment that fits in this label and you'll be good to go. I think the sentiments in the Perennial Postage stamp set are really good variety. There's a lot of them, and of course they are meant to fit in here, so I'm kind of partial to that stamp set. But if you have lots of stamp sets already and you don't want to buy another one, you can use whichever sentiment you have at home that fits. Okay, I am adding this with dimensionals also, and like I said, if you want to do your card differently and do the bow on this side and the sentiment on this side, that is your creative license to do it that way. All right, our last finishing touch is some of our purple shimmer gems. So these are super pretty. They're a little sparkly and shiny. They come in Berry Burst, Gorgeous Grape, and Highland Heather. So 3 of our beautiful purple colors. And I'm going to use some of the Berry Burst ones on this card. So we'll just add a few. Let's see where I want it this time. Something like this. So there you go. If you don't already have the purple shimmer gems, I highly recommend adding those to your order too. They're so pretty. All right, what do you think of this first card? This one was cased or copied from Celine Kempton, and I just loved her pretty combination here. So gorgeous, gorgeous card. Okay, let's move on to our second card. So this one we're going to bring in the Painted Lavender Suite as well. So let's get all of our pieces out. Again, if you order and get the card kit, this is what you will receive, is exactly this in the envelope with all of these pieces, so you can just assemble. So for this one, I have a thick white card base. My card bases are just the standard size. And I do have a score line here, but it's not folding on that real well. 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4 to help me fold in half, although that time in the score line I must not have gotten a very deep impression. Okay, now I forgot my measurements again today, so I will do my best to remember. This piece is crumb cake. It is 3 3/4 by 5, and then the Highland Heather is just 1/8 of an inch bigger, so it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Let's just double check that. I have measurements here on my glass mat. 1, 2, 3 3/4. Yep. Okay. 3 3/4 by 5, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now this piece I have embossed with our, I think it's the Painted Posies embossing folder. This one is retiring, and it is really a pretty one. And it's on sale right now for only $5.50. So that one is a steal of a deal right now. And look how pretty that is. I love this one. It is another great background piece. So if you don't have it yet, you have until April 30th or while supplies last. So it might be gone before then. Things are starting to sell out. It is still mostly stamp sets. A few punches have sold out. The decorative circle punch that I kept telling you needed to get it. Everybody else must have listened to me because that one sold out. All of the ink refills for the in colors have sold out, but the ink pads are still available as of now. Parakeet Party was the only one on our low inventory list. So I encourage you to order sooner than later if there are things that you want. Okay, and I have another piece of the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper here. Look at this one. I love all the different shades of purple. The other side is completely purple, so you could use that side too if you like that better. Maybe I'll do this one like that, and then you can decide. You can tell me which version you like better. So let's see. I better measure this because I forgot my measurements in here. This one is 2 by 3 3/4. And you can put this down at the bottom. I did that so some of this would peek out. You could put it farther down at the bottom, farther in the middle. Totally up to you. All right, and then I have another piece of basic white that I have die cut with the Perennial Postage dies. On here we're going to stamp our sentiment, Big Hugs, and we're going to use our Highland Heather ink. And I'm just going to stamp this one down in the corner, like that. And then I have a couple of white pieces here for my lavender and my stem. So I have 2 stamps that can work together. You don't have to use them both. You could use just one or the other. But I'm going to show you how they work together today. So this is the one that's a little bit wider, and I'm going to stamp off on this one. You know what? I did not bring my cleaning cloth in here. Let me grab a scrap paper here so that we don't get a mess. So I'm going to stamp off for that background piece. so it's a little bit lighter. And then we're going to take the narrower one, and this will fit right in the center. And then you have some cool dimension, which I think is really pretty. Okay, and then we have to do our stem, and we're going to do crumb cake to match the rest of our card. And I have a separate piece for that one. And then the nice thing is, of course, the dies will cut these images out, so you do not have to fussy cut. So let's bring those dies back in and find the ones that coordinate. Okay, so this one, I don't know, the first time I used it, I must have had it upside down, and I thought, this does not exactly line up. Well, it does have two directions, and you got to pay attention and get the right one. So I'm sure that you would see that right away, unlike me. So let's bring in our die cutting machine, and we will cut these out. I do recommend washi tape or something to hold these down in place while you are die cutting them, because they are a little bit, they have a lot of detail and they're smaller, especially the stem. I'm going to do one at a time so that I can get that placed. I didn't bring anything to stick it together, so see, it's trying to move on me. We'll get it close. But use washi tape or a Post-it note to hold that in place. Maybe you don't know this about me yet, but sometimes I'm kind of a lazy crafter and I don't want to go get all the extra things. So I don't know. Are you like me? Maybe lazy is a bad word for it. I should come up with a different word that doesn't sound so bad. Okay, and then let's do our stem. This is the one that you need to be a little careful with because it is so narrow. So you want to see your stamped part right in the middle there, with no white on the edges. Send that through. There we go. Okay. Move this out of the way. We will use it again on our last card. Okay, put those dies away. Now we're just going to do our assembly. So I am going to adhere this piece with dimensionals. Right, kind of in the center, not in the center, off to the left a little bit. I don't know why I said center, that's not the center. Okay, and then we have, these are cut with one die actually. So this die right here will cut two pieces at once, and they're just a little bit different from each other, which I think is kind of cool. All right, so you can either use liquid glue on these. If you were thinking ahead, you could put adhesive sheets behind before you die cut. That is more of my lazy crafting coming through, as I usually think about that after I am done making my project. So I'm just going to use glue dots because I don't like to fuss with the liquid glue. And I obviously did not think about the adhesive sheets before I started. So glue dots it is. And we'll just kind of cross those like so. And then this one is wide enough. I think we can use a little bit of Stampin' Seal. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna, yep, I'm running out. All right, I guess liquid glue it is for the other cards. Okay, and then this piece, I will use a glue dot again. Or two. And for this one, depending on how high up you put this, you may cut off some of the bottom. So that is what I did, so that it's not hanging off your card. So let's grab our scissors and do that. Let's see, where did I throw my scissors? They are hiding from me. They're underneath the last cards. Good spot for them, right? Okay, so I just cut the bottom off of this so that it would not hang off the edge. So there we go. All right, now for this one, we're going to add a little bit of twine. So you could use linen thread. I'm just about out of linen thread, otherwise that's probably what I would have used. But this is crumb cake twine. It's part of our Baker's Twine Essentials pack that comes with 5 neutral colors. And I thought this will work because it's crumb cake and we have a crumb cake piece on our card. So, but linen thread would work too. Or white twine, or if you wanted to, ribbon. I think ribbon is maybe a little bit wide for this card, but you could try it and see. Maybe you have a small ribbon that would work. And we're just going to put a little bow kind of at the bottom of that lavender there. And then we're going to finish off with a few of our purple gems. And this time I think I'm going to use some of the Highland heather. And you can just add these around. Use as many or as few as you want. I think they're so pretty. I'm going to use a few more this time. All right, so there we go. Now, which version do you like better? This one has a little bit of the green in there, or just the purple? I don't know. I like them both. I kind of think this one, because I just like the pops of the green in there. Leave the comment and let me know which one you like better. Or maybe you can't decide just like me. Okay, that is our second card. Moving on to our third card. This one, we're going to use that pretty peacock again. And remember, it is shaded spruce in the paper, but I mean, look how close that is. It looks like pretty peacock to me. So I think either one you could use here. Okay, we've got all our pieces here. So this time I'm starting with a crumb cake card base. Then I have a piece of pretty peacock that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then my designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. And the back of this one is kind of a more neutral piece, but I have to use the pieces that have purple because I love purple. Okay, my Stampin' Seal ran out, so I won't make you stand here or sit here and watch while I go get my refill. I will just use the liquid glue and pray that I don't make a big, huge mess, because that is what happens when I use the glue a lot. Less is more. I know that's what my glue-loving friends tell me, so I will try to remember that. And not too close to the edge or it will seep out. Okay, so there we go. Look how pretty that is just by itself. I love, love, love this pattern. These flowers are kind of in several patterns of the paper. So this is one of them. If you saw the scrapbook page that I posted earlier, these flowers are kind of on that page too, and that's a different one. So kind of cool. Okay, let's see here. I think, well, next we're going to attach this. So this is actually another piece of the designer series paper I cut out with the Stylish Shapes dies. So there's another pattern there you see. There is so many pretty patterns in this paper. And we're going to add this piece with dimensionals. This card has a lot of layers, which I think is fun to do with these bundles, especially with all of the detailed die cut pieces that are included in the set. So you see 2 of them here. This is another die in the Painted Lavender bundle, and it just cuts out these detailed greenery pieces. So I cut 2 of them out of Pretty Peacock, and I think we can attach those, and then we'll do our stamping. So let me get my glue dots again. Again, this would be a good one to use your adhesive sheets for if you remember before you die cut, or you could use liquid glue. And we're just going to put one on this side, and then we'll do one on the other side. And we're going to tuck our lavender in and stuff, so I'm not going to push down super hard to adhere them, because I might wiggle them around a little bit to get them exactly where I want. Put that one here. Okay, now we're going to do our stamping. So let's do our sentiment first. This one I'm going to do in Gorgeous Grape to get that slightly darker purple. You could use the Highland Heather again if you wanted to, or even the Pretty Peacock. Any of the coordinating colors would look nice, I think. And this one just fits. This again I die cut with the Perennial Postage dies. So there's that. And then we're going to do something really cool with our lavender on this one. Let's see. I think I'm going to stamp the stems first. So I'm using Pretty Peacock again to match my Pretty Peacock pieces on my card. And you should have room on here to stamp both your lavender and your stems. Okay, I just realized my glue is sitting here open, so let me close that. Okay, now the lavender we're going to do something pretty cool with. We're going to first ink it up in our fresh Freesia ink. And you know what? I'm going to show you, let's see. All right, I'm going to stamp this on a scrap too because I want to show you the difference in what we're going to do here. So that's fresh Freesia by itself. Oh, I almost forgot to do it. Okay, so inking in fresh Freesia. Then I have my Highland Heather Stampin' Right marker. And I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm just going to kind of dot around on here. And this is going to add a little bit of dimension and a little bit of extra color to it. And you'll have to see the difference. It is really cool. All right. Hopefully that's good. I'm going to give it a huff of air to make sure the ink is still pretty wet. And look at that. See the difference? Isn't that cool? So it's not anything hard or like earth-shattering, but it just adds a little extra dimension. And it's going to turn out different every time you do it. So this was my first one. It was a little more subtle, I think. But it's kind of a cool thing you can do to add more dimension to your stamps. Okay, I'm going to pull in my die cutting machine so that we can die cut these two pieces. And let's see. We will see how these dies lay on here. Well, I think it's only going to fit this way. Okay, so this one, let me move it so you can see. This one has 3 little dots on the bottom, and the reason for that is you want to make sure you can see the bottoms of their stems in those 3 dots, and then you know that it is lined up correctly. So I don't know how well you can see that on the video because it's so tiny, but you should see the bottom of each stem in those 3 dots. And then you will know that you are lined up correctly. And then this one, we're going to go around the edges like that. And hopefully these will stay right in place where we want them while we run them through the machine. Oh, I don't know if my stems stayed in the dots. Well, you know what? Next time I will bring my washi tape or my Post-it note, and then I won't have this problem. Okay, I don't think it's that big of a deal because that's kind of getting covered up and we're not going to see it too long anyway. Well, that wasn't too bad. They're still on there at least. I didn't cut them all the way off. Okay, let me put my dies away here. See if I can figure out where they went in here. I think like that. Okay. Okay, so now we've just got to finish assembling here. So I did adhere my lavender piece with a few dimensionals. And let's see, I kind of tucked it under this one just a little bit. So that's what I said, I'm going to play around with this a bit. And you can kind of put it wherever you want. So like that. I think that's good. And then we will put, well, let's see, I don't know if I did, you know what, I cut the edges, I think. Did the edges of my dimensionals, because then they're a little bit narrower, or you could use mini dimensionals for this. And let's see about there. Okay, I guess you do see that. That's okay. If I really wanted to, I could get my pretty Peacock marker and just draw in the stems. But you know what? You you will use your washi tape and it will turn out fine for you. Okay, and then our sentiment is going to go here. So this part is already popped up with dimensionals. I'm just going to put one on this corner, and then we'll put a little glue, or you could use Stampin' Seal if yours hasn't run out like mine did. So it'll stick down to the rest of this side. Oh, let's see, like that. And then we're going to use more of that pretty peacock and gold ribbon and just tie a bow. And again, this ribbon is pretty flat and thin, and it ties nice bows. It's not going to bulk up your card too much. Oops. Okay, so we'll add this with a mini glue dot. And I'm just going to put that at the base of my lavender. And then I think we'll trim these just a bit, make them a little bit smaller. Oh, maybe that was too small. Oh well. Okay, like that. And then of course we have to add a few of our purple shimmer gems to finish it off. And this time I will use the gorgeous grape. And just add a few around here. These are so, so pretty. Might just want to buy 2 packs right away. That's what I should have done, because I just started working with this suite this weekend. You can see how many of mine are gone. So there's our third card. All right, so let's bring all 3 cards back in. Let's see here. Okay, so these are the 3 cards this week. Remember, if you place an order now through Tuesday and you spend more than $40, you will get 1 of each card in a card kit. And if you spend more than $50, I will double the cards, so you'll get 2 of each. Plus, through Saturday, I have my birthday ordering special going, a free birthday-themed gift with every $50 you spend. So if you spend $100, you will get a card kit with 6 cards, and you'll get 2 fun birthday surprise gifts. So I will post a shopping link in the description here in a few minutes so that you can shop and get all those last chance items. But I did want to show you a few of the other samples I have shared this week. I already put the scrapbook page away, so you can scroll back and see that. I just posted it this morning. But this is one I shared the other day. So this one I used both bundles, but I did not use the designer series paper. So this was for a color challenge, and I kind of got away from the colors in the suite, and I really like how it turned out. So Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, and Lemon Lime Twist were the colors on this one. I think these brushed brass butterflies, say that 5 times fast, these are a really good embellishment to go along with this suite too. And then this one, I did some watercoloring. Embossed Resist for this. This is a really pretty way to use these stamps also, I think. So you heat emboss in white. I did it on watercolor paper, and then I just use my water painters, and I use Gorgeous Grape and Shaded Spruce ink. Maybe we'll have to do some watercoloring here sometime so you can see. I've gotten lots of compliments on my watercoloring, but to be honest, it is not that hard. I will show you some of my tips and tricks. We will have to do that sometime because I think it's so pretty and it's really not that difficult. So stay tuned. We'll have some tips and tricks on watercoloring one of these days. If you really like this suite, make sure you check out my card club that I posted a sneak peek of yesterday. So the cards this month use the Perennial Postage bundle and the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. And these are the cards this month. You might recognize this one. I kind of did the same layout as one of our cards from today. Just a few different colors. So in this club, you get supplies to make 2 of each card. So it's 8 cards. And I did a whole video about my card clubs yesterday that kind of explained more about them. But I wanted to share the cards again because if you like this suite, you are definitely going to love this month's card kit. So I will have a link for that in the description as well. And then if you liked that pretty peacock ribbon today, and you like Christmas cards, you could sign up for my Christmas card club. I used the pretty peacock ribbon for those cards this month, and this is the same thing, run the same way as the card club. It's just Christmas cards every month. So this is this month's kit. The deadline for the Christmas card club is coming up on the 15th, and for the regular card club with the painted lavender cards, the deadline is the 20th. All right, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I will see you again next week. Bye.